Hey guys, this is Whitney, and welcome back to an episode of Spastic Chatter. Spastic Chatter is a platform meant to feature those in the Cerebral Palsy community, and I get together weekly with individuals with CP, like myself, to have a kind of uncensored chat, if you will, about what it's like living with this type of disability. And for this week, I have Steve and Ryan, and let me tell you, they sent in a video for a submission for being interviewed, and it was the greatest submission that I have gotten. I can admit that I showed it to my twin sister, and I was like, oh my god, look at this! Like, it was so legit. And they asked to collaborate, and I was like, of course I want you on Spastic Chatter. They work for Extreme Modus, which is a bike that takes you on extreme adventures, but I'm gonna let them describe it and introduce themselves, and then we'll get on to the conversation. So, take it away.
You want to introduce us?
Hi, this is Ryan, and I'm Sam, and we are friends. Most people think I'm related to Ryan, but it's not.
People think I often get mistaken for Sam's father, but we're actually pretty close in age. I would have had to have been a dad at like 4. So that would have been difficult. But Sam and I work for a company called Extreme Modus, and they manufacture an off-road wheelchair, all-terrain wheelchair. And I started working for the company about a year ago. I had a job that was great. I loved my job and I loved the people I worked with, but I felt like I needed to do something that was a little more like rewarding. And so I was looking around, and I found this company, Extreme Modus, and they hired me as a freelancer. I did a little bit of work for them, and then I said, I found them on Upwork, and I was like, you guys have to hire me. I have this friend with cerebral palsy, and he goes bananas anytime, over nothing, really. So when you're doing something that's actually fun, he really goes bananas. And so they hired me, and I did a couple of videos for them. The first big one we did, we went to Delicate Arch, which is one of the most iconic hikes that you can go on if you ever visit Utah and you're like, what hike should I do? People will tell you go to Delicate Arch. It's on all the Utah license plates, this picture of Delicate Arch. So the backstory to that was Sam and his family had been to Arches National Park before, and Sam and his mom sat in the van while his dad and his brother went and did the hike. And they told me that, and I was like, well, let's go get revenge, because now we have this off-road wheelchair. Let's go and get Sam to the top of the Delicate Arch hike. So it was pretty cool. We started hiking up there, and there's this really long, steep section, and this young married couple walked past us, and they turned around and they said, hey, do you guys need some help? And we're like, yeah, sure. So these strangers helped us up the trail, and we got to the top, and I was making a video, of course, and
he cried.
Well, don't tell people that. I'm trying to keep a real tough looking.
It was true.
Here's what happened. All right, he cried first. No, Sam thought it was really cool. This like changed my perspective on the wheelchair and what it meant and its true purpose, because Sam got up there and he saw it and he was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And then I asked his mom what she thought, and she started crying, because for 37 years she sat in the van with Sam. So I was like, oh, this is a lot bigger than just this one person who uses the wheelchair. it affects his entire family, his entire circle of friends. And then Extreme Modus asked me to come work for them full time, and I was like, okay, because I kind of like got it after that trip. And I always, you know, how you have friends growing up and you hang out all the time, and then like you get older and then you just stop hanging out.
Yeah.
Isn't that horrible?
Yes. Totally.
It's like one of those horrible side effects of getting older, right? And
Yeah.
so I knew that if I took this job, a big part of that job would be going on adventures with Sam, and that sounded pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So now we can hang out. Now, you know, but before I would say, hey, I want to go hang out with my buddies. My wife would be like, I can't say anything bad about my wife because she's the best, but some wives don't like it when their husbands go and hang out with their friends. But now I can say it's for work. I have to go camping with my friends. I'm sorry, it's for work.
That's funny. But that your story, like I can totally relate to your story, because like when I was younger, my family would like carry me everywhere. Like I've been to, I don't know if you're familiar with Texas. I'm from the Austin area, so we have Mount Benel. Like it's like a bunch of stairs and climbing and stuff, and my family wanted to go to Mount Benel, and they didn't want me to be like left out.
Right.
So like I was a teenager, so I was small for my age. So my uncle carried me up the probably like almost 1,000 steps, like so I could see the top of Mount Benel. And like that was just our, like, we're just gonna figure it. If I can't do it, we're just gonna figure it out. But as I got older, and it's become harder for my family and friends to accommodate me, like, because with age you gain weight, and like it's just harder.
Yeah.
My spasticity is worse, so it's just harder to do stuff. So we're constantly looking for like ways to adapt our adventures. And the bike looks very cool. Like we go to the beach a lot, and like I just have to sit there like on the beach while everyone like is having fun. So I can imagine that like having a piece of adaptive equipment like that can really change a person's life. Not to be cheesy, but it's true. Like it gives you a whole new perspective on experiences.
Sure.
So
What do you think, Sam? Has it changed your life?
Holy mother.
Holy mother.
Yes.
mother,
Yeah. Holy mother, yes, it has.
holy mother, yes it has.
Yeah.
So Sam, would you describe yourself as an adrenaline junkie?
What?
Would you describe yourself as an adrenaline junkie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Like I mentioned before that I got a background pump, and I got a background pump the week after, or the week before I turned 18. And when I woke up from surgery, I asked my doctor, I was like, so can I skydive? And she looked at me and she was like, we were not expecting you to ask that question. And she was like, no. I was like, can I ride roller coasters? Because I was one of those that I stayed on the roller coaster as long as they let me, and I'd go through you go through the disabled entrance, and like you just stay on how many times? And they were like, no, you cannot do that. And I was like, well, can I get tattooed? And she was like, I don't know why you'd want to do that, but sure, just wait till you heal. So now I'm like covered in tattoos because it's the only thing that I can do to get adrenaline. So that kind of, I don't know why I told that story, but that kind of got me. That kind of leads me to my next question. What is your favorite memory on the bike, or the favorite your favorite place you went to, or your favorite memory?
What's your favorite? I'll share mine.
There's a bike park in Salt Lake we went to, and that was probably my favorite place.
So he says there's a bike park that we went to. It's in Salt Lake, and so it's meant for mountain bikes. And there's a bunch of jumps and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Can I share my screen with you and
Yes.
show you show you some of the videos?
Sure.
It says the host has disabled attendee screen sharing. You might have to change a
Hold
setting,
on, let me see.
or I can maybe send you the link.
I don't know how I would. I'm not very tech savvy when it comes to.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
wouldn't know how to
There
do
it goes. Hold on.
Okay. Well, give me time to find what I'm looking for anyways. Okay, I'm going to try again.
Okay, there it should be. It should be where. There it goes.
Okay, so I'm just going to show you some of the videos from this day at that we had here. This is when we first got there.
We have your black diamond. Here we have your double black diamond.
Yeah.
Which would you like to do?
What are you doing?
Black diamond. We get a little thing. The double black. We're going to try it from the hospital. So, would you like to go to the hospital today? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Who says yes to a question like that? Would you like to go to the hospital?
Yeah, would you like to go to the hospital?
Yeah. So yeah, that day was a lot of fun. You can hear him just
Yeah.
shouting "wee" at the top of his lungs over and over.
Okay.
So anyways, that was Sam's favorite adventure because he is an adrenaline junkie like you.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that place has some pretty big jumps.
Yeah.
So let me show you one of my favorites.
This is what we're going to do, all right?
We're always, I'll introduce this. There's a bridge right in front of us. And so I explained to Sam, like, we're just trying to make funny videos, you know?
Yeah.
So I explained to Sam, pretend like you're afraid of bridges. And that'll give us an excuse to go around the bridge and through the water. So, like, this is our attempt at trying to act. This is how it went.
This is what we're going to do, all right? We're going to be walking down this path. We're going to get close to the bridge. And you're going to freak out. Be like, no. I'm like, what's wrong? You're going to say, I'm afraid of bridges. Okay? If you're afraid of bridges, how are we going to get home? Go to the parking lot or whatever it's over. Okay. All right. Ready?
Oh, no.
What? We're going to the bridge. What's wrong? You're afraid of bridges? You're afraid of bridges. Perfectly fine bridges, brand new. You're afraid of bridges. That is a real problem. To be afraid of a bridge.
No.
It sits there in the air. Oh, we've never been afraid of a bridge before.
So that just cracked me up because Sam had like one line to say. All he had to do was say, "You're afraid of bridges." And I kept saying, "What? What is it? What's wrong?" And then I had to go, "Are you trying to say you're afraid of bridges?" He goes, "Yeah." Oh, yeah. So we have lots of fun adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. I just thought of a question about the bike. Can you like explain the seating system for the bike? Like, is it like a universal seating system, or is it like a custom to the person? Like a wheelchair, like a wheelchair is like custom made to the person. Is the bike like that, or is it just like universal seating?
It's a wheelchair. It's not a bike. It's custom made to the person that buys the wheelchair.
Well, so there's three different sizes.
Yeah.
And the only difference between the small, medium, and large is that the seat is like slightly wider.
Yeah.
So depending on the person, sometimes people will call in and they'll say, the person that this wheelchair is going to be for, they weigh this much, and they'll tell me like their height and their weight.
Yeah.
And oftentimes it's for people who are like Sam.
Yeah.
And I'll say, well, if you've seen our videos, we have this crash test dummy here, and he weighs about 100 pounds and 85 pounds. And so in that case, it's easy for them to see, oh, my son or daughter weighs about the same.
Yeah.
And then they know they need to get a medium.
Yeah.
So
like, what about the seatbelts? Is there like more than one seatbelt, or like do they go across their? Do they go across? Can you explain that?
They all come with a seat belt, and there's go ahead.
There's one seat belt that comes with our chair. We are developing a chest harness.
No, we have it. It's an option.
We have it. So
they all come with a seat belt, or you can. It's like $100 more for a 5-point harness.
Okay, so you don't have to. So I guess what I'm getting at is you don't have to have a bunch of like core strength to ride in the chair.
Right. Let me see if I can find a picture here. But Sam normally uses a chest harness on his regular wheelchair, but the Extreme Modus is sort of reclined. So in that chair, he's always kind of leaning back.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
That kind of answers my question.
So he doesn't need one in the Modus.
Okay.
I've got some pictures somewhere that show us going down like a staircase in the chair. So it's almost like a 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
And Sam still isn't falling forward out of the chair with no harness.
Then with one seat belt.
Yeah, we just put him there in the seat belt.
Cool. So y'all have a bunch of like TikTok followers, and like you're getting big on social media.
Holy cow! Yes, we do.
Yeah. So have you came across any haters, Sam?
Yeah.
How do you handle that?
We had one TikTok thing where Ryan is holding up a hand sanitizer and he's asking me to test that. Hand sanitizer and people told Ryan to take it down.
So
So,
hold on, I'm fixing to translate.
yeah.
We had one video where we were just joking around. We drive around in my truck a lot, and I set up a GoPro, and I tend to just like rant or get upset by like meaningless small things, just to get a laugh out of him.
Yeah.
Mostly. We're picking up some food. We're at a drive-through and picking up some food, and I have some hand sanitizer, but it's like pineapple scented.
Yeah, I watched that. I watched that video last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'm like, oh man, this smells good. You want to taste some? And I'm like, come here. I'm like trying to force him to taste it. Well, that video got flagged as hate speech by somebody.
Are you serious?
And so I appealed it and said it's not hate speech, it's just two like friends joking around. And then TikTok reviewed it and they said that's harassment and bullying. And so it was funny because I uploaded that video and then somebody else like made a duet with it and they illustrated it.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
So I re-uploaded it with the two together so they could see the animated one. And the second time I uploaded it, it got taken down by TikTok. But the first two times they were fine with it. So
Yeah. I watched that video like last night. I thought it was hilarious. I like how you don't sugarcoat things with Sam. Like your relationship is just two friends. Like
two friends.
Like Sam has a disability, but that doesn't come into play. You're still busting his chops. Like you want any other friend. Like it doesn't matter. Like that's how me and my friends are. Like I say that like for people that don't know us and like they just see us on the street, they probably think my friends are a bunch of assholes because of the way they treat me. Like, and that's how I want it to be. Like I don't want it to be like, oh, she's special. Like let's treat her differently now. Like that's not what I want. Like, so yeah.
Right. That's kind of the message that we're trying to send with our TikTok channel. We're trying to like educate people that I mean everybody deep down knows that they don't want to be excluded or treated differently.
Yeah.
Disability or not. I don't want to be treated differently. I want to be included and invited to everything. So this is something that I noticed when we were young and like in high school. I tell this story all the time. I would see people go up to Sam and be like, "Oh, hi, how are you?"
Yeah.
Like treating him like he's a baby and talking slow. And I'd go up and punch him in the arm and call him a douchebag. What's up, douchebag? Because that's how male adolescents told each other, "I love you" in the 90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Call each other. So and I don't know. Is that annoying when people talk to you like a baby?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody would want that. They think, they're not trying to be mean. They think they're being nice and kind, like special. But all anybody wants is to be treated like everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
A who used to treat me like a baby.
Yeah.
Open up, Sam, and take her bite. He used
to have an aide who, when they would feed him, would be like, "Open up, Sam."
Oh my God.
Like he was a toddler, He's an adult. He can grow a big old bushy beard and everything.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like I have a twin sister, so we grew up like we're in the same grade. We were all I was in mainstream classes, so wherever she went, we were like right beside each other all the time. So when people would treat me like any differently, she was like right there, like no, like she's totally fine. Like even to this day, when we go out, I have to keep her and my whole family in check because they will cause scenes if if somebody is like, if somebody else like, if somebody's like staring or like doing anything, they will cause scenes. And like, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. Like, just stop. They just don't tolerate.
Right, but good for them, because if they don't say anything, then I mean, you have to educate people, or they're never going to change.
Yeah,
You're going to
exactly.
keep treating people like they're fragile or special or whatever.
So, what do y'all have a next adventure planned, or are y'all like stationary right now because of COVID, or like what is your?
Well, this last summer we wanted to start going to a lot of national parks. Utah has a lot of amazing national parks.
Yeah.
But we kind of put a lot of those things on hold and just did more like local stuff, so we didn't have to travel because of COVID. Hopefully 2021 is better than 2020.
Yeah.
But we still had a lot of fun adventures and a lot of laughs. But we wanted to like go to national parks and like certify them wheelchair accessible, like
Yeah.
asterisk with a special wheelchair.
Yeah.
But at the very top of the Delicate Arch Trail, the trail gets very narrow. It's a very popular trail. There's thousands of people that go up and down that trail every day. So I went up ahead because the trail gets very narrow, and it's like a sort of a steep drop off on one side. And the wheelchair took up the whole width of that. So I had to run up ahead and stop a group of people from coming down so the wheelchair could get through.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I ran up there and I was like, "You guys hold on, there's somebody in a wheelchair coming up." And they're like, "What?" And then here comes Sam around the corner in his wheelchair, and totally blew their minds. But we wanted to go around and be like, yeah, this trail is now wheelchair accessible. And so hopefully we can do more of that in 2021. Right now, it's cold. It's winter here. There's snow on the ground. So
it's freaking cold.
Yeah, it's cold.
And I'm the baby.
Yeah, I'm a baby. But last year we went snowshoeing up in the mountains, and we'll probably do more snow-related adventures this year, but we would prefer it to be.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't know about you, Sam, but spasticity and the cold is like not my friend. I'd rather be where it's warm all year long. Like I can't do the cold either. So I'll always ask at the end of my interviews if my guests have any advice for other people. So like, Sam, what advice would you give someone that is that wants to get into some some sports like biking or doing adrenaline junkie things? What advice could you give them?
Don't hang out with this knucklehead every day.
Don't hang out with this guy every day?
Don't hang
because I'm so dangerous?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Tell them to do it. Like just go for it, just to have fun.
Yeah, just go for it. Sometimes we'll be doing like those videos we showed of on that dirt track we were on. There's one point where I stopped and I'm like, hey man, like we want to have fun here, but we don't want you to get hurt. Like, cause we're going to have these big jumps and the tires of the chair are very soft. They run about 4 PSI. So when you land, that soaks up a lot of the bump.
Yeah.
And he has a special air pad in the chair that he sits on.
Yep.
But I'm like, does it hurt when you land? Does it hurt when you land? See how long it takes him to.
Yeah.
When I asked him like the first time, I could tell that he was trying to like come up with a lie.
Yeah.
It did hurt.
So have you ever got hurt doing all this stuff?
That dirt track, I got hurt. So.
But when I asked him if he wanted to stop, I
He
said,
just
do you
didn't
want to stop? He says, no, I want to keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
One of these days, we're gonna switch places, and I'm gonna sit in a chair and get thrown off some jumps, just so I know
Totally.
what it feels like. It seems really scary just to sit in a chair and have like a complete trust that the person behind you isn't gonna let you go.
Yeah, exactly. So if anybody's looking to look into the bike or or purchasing a bike, what can they? Do you have a website or anything like that?
Yeah, look us up on extrememodus.com. That's MOTUS. And for sure follow us on TikTok because that's where we post the most often.
Yeah.
And it's not always about the wheelchair stuff. Sometimes we're just being weird and having some laughs. I don't know if you saw the teeth whitening video.
No, the last video that I've seen, like somebody was like saying that Sam was squinting at him when he talked, and he said something like you asked him, and he said something like, "Why I saw your mom last night," or something. I started laughing like really hard. So that's the last video I watched, just scrolling last night. But yeah.
Yeah, if people have never seen our stuff before, go to Extreme Modus, search for Extreme Modus on TikTok, and I promise you'll have some laughs because we get weird and we like to make funny videos.
Real.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you so much for writing in, and I really enjoyed this conversation and getting to know you guys and learning more about Extreme Modus. And again, thank you. And for those of you watching, if you want to be on an episode of Spastic Chatter, there's always a link in the description, or you can comment anywhere you can see this video. And I will leave Steve and Ryan's info in the description so you can check them out. And check back next week for another episode of Spastic Chatter. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.